Alright guys, welcome back. This is the quarterfinals. It is Sofanda's Bear Tibbers versus Amputease in DominateDominion number 75. I am RheingoldRiver, and casting with me tonight is HaIfhearted.
Hello everyone. Right off the bat, we do see the Jarvan and Kha'Zix bans going down after the jet ban. Jarvan, as we saw previously, is just very strong, just engage, duelist, tanky, just sort of all-around bruiser. Kha'Zix is a very, very powerful, just hyper-mobile assassin. You can just get in, pick off individual targets, and it's just really, really snowbally. So, him being banned out. Kayle and Jayce being banned as well. Kayle, very powerful AP auto-attacking mage. That ult is just game-breaking. And Jayce, powerful poke, hyper-scaling AD champion.
Yeah, and again, pretty standard bans from both sides. Wukong, Nidalee, Lulu, Kassadin, where of course the chat bans, it says that at the bottom of the overlay. I really want to change that font to match the font in the client, but then I have to figure out what the font in the client is. If any of you know what the font is in the client where it says the chat bans, then you should let me know, because then I can make the font at the bottom match that. Can I please play the Ghostbusters theme? No, I can only play K-pop.
Nope.
I only have the ability to play K-pop.
You could theoretically play Ghostbusters. There are like 5 ghosts or 10 ghosts in a game, but I don't think we'll be seeing that this game. We do see the Zyra and Brand being banned out for the last ban as well. Zyra, as we saw previously, very powerful mage, and Brand is also just highly damaging, safe, just AoE damage mage. Over on, which team is which? I can't remember.
Oh, is this not the logo anymore? Do I need to get a new load screen? Or champion select overlay? But it looks like Pantheon+Janna might be locked in there. Janna is so mobile. Well, she's not like really mobile. She has a ton of move speed from her W and her passive, but she is so good at stopping you from catching her that she might as well have like 5 blinks.
Yeah, she's like anti-mobile. It's like reverse ability. She's not mobile, but she makes her opponents less mobile. And that shield, like, you put a Janna shield on, like, a Pantheon or something, that's some serious deeps coming out from the Pantheon. Over on, okay, so Sofanda's team is blue and Amputease is purple, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so over on, Sofanda, we do see, the Maokai being locked, and Maokai very, very powerful mage champion. His ultimate is just incredibly good against AoE teams. He has lots of lockdown, high poke, high damage. And we do see the Annie and Lee Sin being highlighted. Annie just very durable, highly damaging mage, good CC, and Lee Sin is a very strong bruiser. Oh, could be a Trundle.
Alright, so it looks like it'll be Trundle instead of Lee Sin. Lee Sin is honestly a pick that we don't see too often.
Yeah, Trundle, I can see that. I mean, Trundle's very, very strong AD bruiser. He has that AD debuffs that'll help against the Pantheon. He has Pillar is just an absolutely ridiculous team utility CC spell, zone control. It's very strong, and his ultimate just lets him take a tank and lets him become that tank. Well, you ult the tank, and where that tank is your suit of armor, basically. Over on Amputease, we do see the Karma highlight from Trogan, and Willpower still thinking about what he wants to.
And let's make the chat a Worlds spoilers free zone. Or just make it completely free of spoilers from Worlds for those of us who might be, say, casting a Dominion tournament instead of watching Worlds and wanting to.
Yeah, be respectful to your fellow summoners and casters.
No Worlds spoilers. Okay.
Over on Amputease, we do see a Corki highlight, so that's an interesting pickup.
Wow. And then there's a spoiler in the chat. Seriously, please don't. please, for the love of God, don't spoil Worlds for me.
Ask and ye shall receive. You're making the crucial mistake of saying not to do something on the internet.
Alright.
So we will see the Karma and Corki be locked in from Amputease. Karma, very, very powerful. I mean, people, used to call her support. She's not support. She's like a just hyper offensive mage.
She's really a mage. She has so much damage when she gets
she's a mage, but she also does just a great. Like, she also has pretty decent support, or semi decent support too. So I mean that it does seem that Amputease is going for more of a kite comp with the Janna, Karma, Corki there. So whereas Sofanda's team is going for more of a run-in, lockdown, hard engage. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out right off the bat. And we do see Goalie highlighting the Urgot, and Lee Sin's back.
Lee Sin's back, yeah. So it wasn't, just kidding, we don't actually want Lee Sin. It was, let's pick Lee Sin later, because who's going to pick Lee Sin?
I do expect, I'm half expecting to see Nerdok switch with Goalie on the Lee Sin Urgot thing. I do know our Nerdok does occasionally play behind Urgot. And new B3 highlighting via Orianna. That will most likely be an Orianna bot against whatever is on Sofanda's team. New B3, well-known bot lane player on his team, and I have seen him do the Orianna bot on occasion.
Alright, so I think the most surprising pick here is the Lee Sin. I don't feel like I've ever casted Lee Sin in DominateDominion before. Can you take us through that pick a little bit?
Lee Sin is I've seen him in the past. Like, he's, a powerful sort of bruiser or assassin hybrid. You can build him a bunch of different ways depending on the situation. He can be tanky, he can be damagey. If you know how to play him, he's a very strong champion. He has good utility, Jayce. His crippling strike, I believe, is a very, very powerful debuff. It's an AoE, attack speed, move speed, slow.
Crippling strike is Darius W.
Okay, so just cripple, yeah, and that'll be really useful to catch the members of Amputease, since they do seem to be going through the whole mobility kite thing. So, like, between Lee Sin, Maokai, Trundle...
I think. Crippling blow is Wukong's Q, and I'm pretty sure that crippling strike is Darius W.
Why do all these skills have such similar names?
There's like 7 that have the word blow, and then like another 9 that have the word strike.
Oh man, like at least 2 or 3 with cripple. Oh man.
Okay, yeah, it is crippling strike is Darius's W. And then crippling blow is Wukong's Q. Cripple is the second half of Lee Sin's E. First you cast Tempest, and then he has a short window of time where he can cast Cripple after that.
And we will be seeing the
it's crushing blow, what am I saying?
This is not actually something I expect to see Nerdok on, since he's typically more like a Malzahar, and I expected to see him on the Urgot, but apparently Kayle is deciding to go to the Urgot instead. I'm actually expecting to see Trundle versus Orianna in bot lane.
Alright, so how's that matchup gonna go for us?
I don't actually know, because I haven't seen it. I expect it could go either way. I mean, like, if Nerdok is able to sustain all new B3s or harass, it could just be a stalemate, or new B3s is able to outpush and out-harass Nerdok, and it'll go his way. On the other hand, if Nerdok's... I do think it'll come down to a... I don't know how the matchup itself goes, and we'll just have to see how well the players play. Over in top lane, I'm also interested in how it's going to go down. I can't quite tell. Like, both teams have pretty decent poke. Like, Sofanda's team has, they have the Maokai, they have the Urgot, very powerful. They do have Annie for more of like a short mid-range pokes. And on purple team, however, they do have sort of like Pantheon, Karma, and like a bit of Janna poke as well. So, I mean, really, it could be either team's game. We'll have to see how they play this.
And something that we saw Clueless do was to get a really long range, because Janna has a decent amount of move speed, and she gets to the windmill pretty quickly. So they would have Janna prep a Howling Gale, get a knock-up onto someone, and get a pick-off before anyone even arrived. And before anyone even arrived at the windmill fight.
However, we also have to account for the fact that the members of Sofanda's Bear Tibbers are all like pretty tanky duelist champions. Like, you have Lee Sin,
that's really true, yeah.
Annie, you have Urgot. They're all, just sort of, pseudo like bruiser champions. So it's not going to be as easy. Also, like between the Lee Sin and the Maokai, you have like a lot of ability lockdown, so you can quickly respond. So it's going to be interesting to see.
To answer Dino Glory's question real quick in the chat, we have 10 bans per team. We have 10 bans total, 5 bans per team, because there's just a lot of champions in Dominion that are super overpowered, and so it's nice to be able to get rid of more of the champion pool.
Another yeah, we run the 10 bands format. We started doing it. How many weeks ago? I think it's been at least 30 or 40 weeks since we started doing the 10 bands format.
What
it does, it allows
long
teams.
Before I started casting.
Yeah, what it does, it allows teams to it allows like more diverse team comps because like if you only have like 6 bands, like you ban out basically like just all the overpowered champions, and now you basically just sort of like teams sort of pick mostly very similar champions. While we still have that, like we do see a bit more champion diversity because of the 10 bands, because you can't just pick the same thing over and over.
Yeah, and so the draft mode only allows for 6 bands, so we just have 4 bands in the chat and before we go into the game. And technically, you can pick that champion because it's not actually banned, but you're not allowed to pick the champion. So,
yeah, both teams are supposed to treat it as though it is an actual in-game ban.
But so we are into the load screen. This is Sofanda's Bear Tibbers against Amputease. Sofanda's Bear Tibbers over on the left-hand side, highlighted in blue. It is Ipu Unicorns playing Lee Sin, SMC on Maokai, Generic playing Annie, Golly playing Urgot, and Nerdok. What a tongue twister there on Trundle. I'm RheingoldRiver, and casting with me.
I am HaIfhearted, and over on the right side, highlighted in purple or red, depending on when you have colorblind mode on, we have Team Amputease with Scions on Pantheon, Metal Fenrir on Karma, Strogan McCawk on Janna, Dual Power on Corki, and Noob B3 on Orianna.
V3 known for playing bot lane Sejuani. Like going to be playing
Yeah,
Orianna.
I've actually seen his bot lane with Sejuani. It's pretty scary actually.
Yeah,
like,
he's played it in DominateDominion a couple times.
Yeah, I've also seen it in solo queue. I the first time I ever saw it, I thought he was trolling, but then I actually watched and I was like, wow, okay, I guess he's not trolling.
It's pretty good. Alright, so we didn't get a chance to really look at summoner spells, so as we get onto the Scar, and I actually remember to update the team names.
Yeah, we do see a very conventional, just lots of revives coming out from each team. Revive, very, very powerful spell in Dominion. Lets you, it gives you huge power at the initial top windmill fight. It lets you make plays throughout the game, save points, stop enemies from what would otherwise be like snowball moves, and just very, very strong summoner. We also see a lot of Exhaust. Exhaust is a very, very powerful dueling spell. Like, just put that on someone, you basically just neuter their damage output for the next 2-3 seconds. And we do see the clairvoyance coming out from each team. They want to take control of the jungle. Like jungle, you just get control of that. Like if you can take control of the jungle, you have control of the map, and you can sort of dictate the game's flow. And CV is just a powerful zone control spell, jungle control. We also do have the Ignite coming out from Nerdok versus Flash on OB3, and that I think indicates sort of what they're trying to go for in their with their bot lane matchups. Nerdok's going for more of a kill lane, and Noob is going for more of a safe, I'm going to escape from that pillar.
Yeah, I think that Orianna probably a little bit scared of getting pinched off by that pillar and then getting ganked, because remember, regardless of what's going on in top lane, you're supposed to gank bot, and they do have a Pantheon. Actually, that's his team's Pantheon, so, but still.
Yeah, we do see the preemptive clairvoyances go down on both teams, just to stop any of those early game shenanigans.
A little bit of damage from Generic. Did not actually start out with a stun, so gonna be able to poke a little bit before he commits to the engage. Golly taken to about half. Pantheon dives in. There's a lot of damage. Exhaust goes down onto him, though. He's not gonna be able to pick up a kill here. He goes down for the first blood. I'm gonna switch to KDA. Do remember to do that. SNC now in the front. Arcane Smash comes down. A lot of damage onto Metal Fenrir. The Q in from Unicorns actually got interrupted by that tornado. And Corki misses his Valkyrie over the wall, pops the barrier. Is gonna go down though, and Golly's still barely alive. Spear shot is gonna take him out. A double kill for Lee Sin on the other side though. Strogan trying to help Scions survive for a little bit longer. He got exhausted yet again. There's a knockup though. That's going to help Pantheon pick up a double kill, but the windmill did get captured by Generic just there. And Unicorn's now diving onto Pantheon. Shield comes out from Janna. He almost picks up the kill onto Generic, but not quite. One more auto attack from Strogan is going to get the shutdown onto Lee. And Metal Fenrir coming across can't quite land the Q onto Generic, but Generic is zoned to one side of the point, and Corki's coming back. A lot of damage onto Strogan from Golly. Metal Fenrir starting to channel after landing that 1Q, and Strogan's the one getting focused down. Actually, is going to go down to Urgot there. Damage onto Karma interrupts the channel. Dual power on the opposite side of the point is going to get twisted advance on by Maokai. There's a W out from Metal Fenrir. Does not actually land the snare. Golly's taken pretty low, but not going to go down. Arcane Smash on the dual power. Gets shielded by Karma. Karma cutting backwards. Dual power does not go down for the damage over time. There's a twisted advance again. Strogan coming back. One more auto attack on Golly, but he gets shielded there. Terror Capacitor saving his life. And that is going to be the windmill fight. On the bottom side of the map, though, Orianna was able to pick up the kill onto Trundle and get the neutral on the point. Generic is going to have to come down, has stun right now, but then does have Tibbers. I think Noob V3 is going to be okay.
Yeah, Noob V3 using just the range advantage of
and Strogan
Orianna early. Yeah, Trundle not terribly tanky early game, and he didn't have the sort of resist necessary to.
Tibbers comes down. There's a subjugate. Good monsoon from Janna. Gonna be able to save Noob V3 for just a little bit. He does manage to pick up that health, but it was popped from the ignite. There's a ult coming across Shockwave, but it's a double kill for Nerdok. That is exactly what he wanted to have happen there. 3v2 on the top point. Meanwhile, can they dive onto SMC? Melfiner trying to capture a little bit. He comes across. That is Mantra. Can he land a W snare? He does. And Pantheon picks up that kill with the Heartseeker strike. Melfiner is channeling. There is the suppress from Golly. Switches positions, but that gets him away from Dual Power. Dual Power almost picked up the turret, but not quite. Janna going to be able to channel. And Urgot does go down. Meanwhile, Annie and Lucian coming back up. Can they get the channel off in time? Dual Power's on the other side. They need to get the interrupt. They channel for just a second. The minion's not going to be able to finish off. Metal Fenrir is going to go down to Annie. And the windmill. Actually, they did manage to finish capturing it. Alright then.
Down bot lane, we do see Noob V3 and Nerdok just sort of posturing off right now.
And Nerdok taking a little bit of damage, but he does have the shield and doing quite a bit of damage in return. Spectre's Cal has been completed by Nerdok, so he has a good amount of magic and that CDR. But remember, Orianna's auto attacks do hurt quite a bit. And so do her spells, for that matter. Strogan getting chased down, and he has stun right now. Dual power firing off some rockets. Buddy's gonna have to Valkyrie to get away from Lee. Metal Fenrir healing. Gonna get a little bit of extra damage onto Golly, but Terror Capacitor blocks almost all of it.
Down bot lane, we do see Nerdok being forced to pop the ult to just not lose to a Noob V3's harass.
Tibbers comes down, stun onto 3. Pantheon's gonna get dropped before he can even land that W. And Strogan with a great shield, gonna survive thanks to Karma and himself. Exhaust by Dual Power. He wants to get back to the point ASAP. Gonna get W by Maokai though under tower, and is gonna go down. Strogan tried to stay around and he died. And that is going to be the windmill. Switching hands again.
Down bot lane, we just see Noob V3 just punishing Nerdok just with Orianna's range and poke advantage. He is not letting Nerdok get close and just bullying him out of the lane.
And Generic having to step down a little bit to help out. Science still has his ultimate, still has that Grand Skyfall that he can use to either gank bot or rotate within top lane. Noob V3 doing a nice job of using his ward, using his ball as a ward there. It's a little bit of vision. Golly now getting, actually gonna suppress Science and get that switch off with the hyperkinetic position reverser. Science now onto SMC. Dual Power is here also. Vengeful Nest from that Maokai ult to a little bit of damage mitigation. Strogan has arrived. 4v3. Remember, Pantheon's super low right now. And the tides have turned a little bit in bot lane with Noob V3 having to run away from Nerdok.
Yeah, we do see Nerdok going for the fast Tiamat after his Spectre's Cow, and I do think he's eventually just going to hit a point where he can just out-sustain.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's how we expect the matchup to go, is it will be pretty far in favor of Orianna because she has that really good ranged poke for S damage. And as Trundle gains items and levels, he's going to start to be able to turn around. But a nice backdoor here. They managed to get the neutral off. It is a quest objective. They'd really like to have this. Golly is here. Strogan needs to not die. He's actually cutting towards enemy territory. Shield picks up that up. Tibbers! Ton of damage onto Science. Orianna wins the 1v1 against Trundle. Strogan with that ult actually to knock everyone back towards his team. Corki, Valkyrie's off, picks up the Huddle Relic on the way. Janna now trying to run away, about to be cut off by Golly. Shield, there's the stun from Generic. Annie has a decent, or Janna, excuse me, has a decent amount of damage, but not that much. Probably not going to be able to pick up the kill on Annie, but if Orianna's here, Orianna with the shutdown, Strogan is going to go down to Urgot there. Corki has to recall New V3 running away. If Unicorns can land, the Q actually lands the Tempest, but no cripple, or Tempest and cripple. Sorry, Unicorn's going to be able to channel here. New V3 dueling Urgot. Generic is here also. Karma and Maokai locked in 1v1 on top lane. New V3 has to flash out, but there's a stun on Generic now. Has the Incinerate up. Gets the Disintegrate off. Exhaust comes down, but New V3 is going to be able to live. Science coming in. Spear shot down onto Generic. Urgot was out of mana, so Golly started to recall. And that meant that Orianna could live.
Yeah, you did see Golly sort of pulling back into the fight there to protect that Generic as Cyan's close on the...
Alright, so with all of that, bot is back to pretty even on these capture points. The quest objective being in bot lane incentivizes people going bot a lot, but that was a ton of action to have in bot lane.
And up on top, we do see teams just sort of standing off again. Just that jungle posture. Both teams are wanting to get in here and just take control, as having both jungle allows them to just dictate the flow of the game itself. So.
And you can see the power of the vision items on both teams. Being able to get vision, especially in these bushes around the relic, you don't want to be pinched off from there.
We do see a three-man gank going down on Nerdog.
Yeah, but Unicorns is here for the counter gank. Science taken very low. Shockwave comes across, a great shockwave, but he is going to go down. Trundle to the one to pick up the kill. And with Urgot coming down, Strogan getting chased. Hyperkinetic position reverse. Shielding himself for a little bit. And on the other side, Annie actually manages to get the kill onto Corki. So the numbers advantage not really working out on any side of the map here for Amputease.
Up on top, we do see a SNC just trying to stall out Metal Fender so Generic can get the damage down on the point.
And they're fine killing him. Defensive Garrison comes in from Strogan, but the Howling Gale doesn't do anything because Maokai is untargetable during that twisted advance. And Strogan probably going to go down. Still alive, no, he is going to be fine. Shielding himself just a little bit at the end there from that Tibbers. And going to start the recap on the point. Generic is safe right now. SMC is less safe. Does get one heal from Sound Magic, but is going to have to die there. Science getting stunned by Generic. Generic could probably honestly pick up the kill on the Science here. And there is the kill. He has the quest objective thanks to winning, his team winning in bot. Managed to get the stun off on a dual power, and the big one missed! Dual power not picking up the kill. It was cooldown on Valkyrie. Yes, in 12 seconds. That is not soon enough. Generic picks up the kill and gets out.
Down bot lane, I didn't quite see what happened, but Sofanda's team did manage to pick up the bot lane objective there.
Yeah, and it started out pretty even, but Sofanda is starting to be in pretty good command of the game. And a lot of that is just that Trundle got to the point where he can 1v1 Orianna. Before that happened, it was really difficult in bot lane, but now that Trundle can 1v1 Orianna, they're having a much easier time of it. And the Hyperkinetic position reversal is interrupted there. Great shockwave separates two, but it's not quite enough because there just wasn't the damage follow-up. Corki does not have his Trinity yet, and before Trinity, he just doesn't have that much damage. Annie with one, Maokai with the other. And dual power is going to have to back off. Orianna and Pantheon on the other side. Nerdog might go down here. Pantheon gets that with a spear shot. Chasing down onto Golly. Heartseeker strike. V3 needs to get a W. Needs to get a little bit of extra move speed and the slow. But the team is here and Annie turns it around. Gets exhausted though, and Pantheon is going to go down. But Urgot also falls. Struggling with the shield there onto New V3. Chasing down Generic. Key W. And the slow from Janna. And that is going to be enough for the kill. John is actually the one with the shutdown and did not correctly predict where SMC went, so that is going to be it.
Yeah, and we see Strogan just backing off. Both Nerdog and Golly came up off of their death timers, and Strogan just he knew that, and he was like, I can't do anything else, I'm just going to back off and take what we have right now.
Alright, so we have Unicorns defending the windmill. The nice thing that you can do with wall jumpers like Lee Sin is just wait on the other side of the wall. They don't know if you're there. And then you can just pop over with a Q or W.
That's interesting. Nerdok, instead of the T-Mat, he decided to go for more of the Blade of the Ruined King build on Trundle. Ooh.
Dueling Orianna now. And New V3 actually sustaining a lot just from that shield. Chomp goes down, but it's not that much. And New V3 looks like he's actually winning this with the shield. So New V3 is still actually able to 1v1 Trundle. Top fight. We have the good Janna ult separating everyone out of the fight, but gets hyperconnect. Position reverse on the other side. Howling Gale goes across everyone. Metal Fenrir with a lot of damage. Unicorn is going to be able to pick up the kill on Annie. Corki with the shutdown. Janna goes down. Good stun from that Incinerate from Generic. Corki trying to Valkyrie out, but he's probably going to be slowed. And he's probably going to go down. It is a double kill for Golly. And New V3, SNC not walking in the bush in time, wanted the extra speed from the move speed shrine. But you know what? That's just fine. I would rather have a capture point than a kill. Generic gets bursted by that Grand Skyfall. Spear Shot will be able to pick up the kill. There's the knock-up. Orianna ball gets the kill on the Maokai. Nerdok now in the middle of everyone. He lives for a little bit, but can't quite live for long enough. And they're actually going to go all the way over. And
we do see Maokai popping the revive there to help stab off his foot.
Yeah, I don't think they can actually capture this with Maokai using that revive. Revive is such a strong summoner. Shockwave comes across. Unicorn's actually is going to go down. Silence there. Silence is a ton of damage. Vengeful Maelstrom comes across from Maokai. More damage from the Heartseeker Strike, but New V3 cannot tank the turret. Leeson with the shutdown. How did... Oh, he revived. Okay. And Strogan getting dove on also has the shield, but Dragon's Rage actually going to save him a little bit. So Strogan going to say thanks for the free ride out and just run up to the top area. Leaving his Corki to get chased down. And with a ton of burst damage, does pick up the kill on Karma there. So at this point, what can Amputease do to stall the game for long enough that they can come back?
It's not going to be easy for one like Sofanda's team just has just a huge amount of like, they have this really nasty combination of their champions both being high power duelists and tanky at the same time, which means they have this, they also have a lot of E, which means they have a lot of teamplay power. Like Amputease picked a more squishier kiting lineup, but Sofanda is just able to get in there, and once they're in, there's not really a whole lot that Amputease can do about it.
That's pretty much what we just saw in that ball lane there as Unicorns and Nerdok picked up the kill on a Metal Fenrir. And Grand Skyfall is going to come in. Good knockup from Jen is going to show the damage onto Nerdok and secure that kill, and they actually weren't able to capture the Boneyard.
Yeah, Science and Strogan just coming in to stop Nerdok and Unicorns.
Alright, Golly a little bit caught out. Gonna get chased down. Shockwave comes across, gets the shutdown. Generic was also pulled into that. It was actually a very nice shockwave from UV3. And Unicorn's going on to Strogan, but that allows Strogan to get behind him, which allows Strogan to not knock him into his team because he did not have his Monsoon available and only had a Q up. And so Leeson did survive, but it was at the cost of his teammate dying. Poor Trundle.
Now we see Amputease finally
the sapling picks up the kill on the Metal Fenrir. But there's the finish of the capture on the quarry, and Sturgeon just going to use his ult for healing. So they are saying, we're going to stay around and defend that. If they were planning on going back to base, then he would not have used that ult just to heal.
Yeah, Amputease not quite out of his head. If they're able to just maintain a 3 cap for another 3 or 4 minutes, they could potentially turn it around. However, it is going to be an incredibly uphill battle.
Oh, an amazing shockwave there onto everyone. Golly's probably going to go down to the turret. He gets out of range just in time, but Nerdok taking a lot of damage. There's a hyperconnect position reverser, but he goes down to Orianna. UV3 has had a great game. Manages to let Pantheon pick up that kill, but it's a double kill for Lee. Strogan now defending this point topside. We have Karma and Corki diving, and they get the kill onto Maokai, so they're going to be able to pick up the windmill and possibly even a 4 cap because Strogan should be able to defend this for a while. until Annie gets here and completely one-shots him.
Strogan's fairly tanky. Like, he does have the Moon Flare, and he has a Sweeper, and he's going to just run away. It's like, I stalled you guys, goodbye.
Yeah, that's all he wanted. They got the 4-cap for just a second. He actually manages to delay even more by using that Garrison, so very, very nice use of that Summoner spell. And Janna just doing what she's best at. You know, chasing a Janna is not as bad as chasing a Singed, because Janna can't kill you herself, but Janna probably has allies who can. And Noob V3 now getting chased down by Nerdak. He has shield. Shockwave comes across, and another great Shockwave. Strogan is finally going to go down. But they do have the 3-cap right now. Corki trying to go backdooring the windmill, or the refinery. Science does fall. Science does not have revived for a little while yet. There's a shield from Noob V3 going to survive Annie for a little bit longer. He's ignited. Can he get into the well? Yes, he's going to be fine. Nerdak taking a lot of pain from the tower. Almost goes down! But it's Metal Fenrir who dies first instead.
This looks like it could be the end of Amputease if they aren't able to defend it.
Well, Golly did go down just there. It's 2-2 right now, so no one's losing any Nexus health. 25 to 282 is a lot less intimidating than the score was about 2 minutes ago. They've been able to hold on to at least a neutral 2-2 for quite a while now, and they're definitely coming back into it. But like you said, it's not, they're not out of the waters yet.
Yeah, up on top we do see Strogan coming up to reinforce dual power and just help him defend this tower against Unicorns and Gullet. And we do see Science and Metal Fenrir coming up to the jungle to just sort of reinforce and keep pressure on.
Metal Fenrir a little bit spotted out there, but not caught out. And the difference between spotted out and caught out is pretty significant. Nerdak with actually a very squishy build here. Blade of the Ruin King and Yomu's Ghostblade. And Orianna getting quite a bit of damage down onto him. There's the pillar. Gonna be able to use Subjugate, but does get Shockwave there and might fall. He's life stealing for so much. Oh my god, but Noob V3 picks up the kill. That was way closer than I thought it could be. And then I thought Trundle was going to win it, and then Noob V3 won anyway. But the next fight is going to be much harder for Ori.
Very interesting item choice by Noob V3 after this fight.
That I like it. I actually love it. I love it. So Orianna went for that Executioner's Calling so that every single auto attack would apply the healing debuff on a Trundle, which is just amazing because the thing that Trundle is great at is sustaining, and Metal Fenrir was just a god at dodging every single skill shot there. That was amazing. Strogan trying to defend, but I don't think he's going to be able to even interrupt the neutral fire. He gets, oh no, it was not quite long range enough. The minions would have gotten it anyway, but it was just out of range. And Science does have Grand Skyfall, but chose to walk instead. But meanwhile, in the bot side, Noob V3 was able to pick up a point, so it's still a 3-cap for them. Shut down there. Pantheon picks up that one, now going on to Golly, Strogan channeling the point, and it is a triple kill there for Science. Trundle actually going for the backdoor because he knows he cannot fight Orianna, but Orianna has recalled, and Orianna pretty tanky with a lot of penetration here. Can he get the neutral off? Can't get the neutral off because Corki's coming in. Also, he used the pillar. Where's the Valkyrie? Valkyrie is up right now, but Corki just not quite brave enough to do it. It was probably smart for Corki to not Valkyrie there. He did not know what he would be Valkyrieing into.
And Amputease has managed to make a significant amount of point retrieval right now. They managed to get a 3-cap, and they are not going to let go easily because they know if they do, it's just...
And Generic takes a ton of damage there and can't even get a single spell off before he goes down. Noob V3 though is getting focused a little bit. Vengeful Maelstrom from Maokai, the damage mitigation. Corki has so much damage, Corki is getting exhausted and position reverse. Struggling with a little bit of heal. There's the tornado onto 2. Right now Karma is backdooring, so even if they lose this, it's not the end of the world. Does Corki have revive? He does not for just a little bit longer. Double kill for Urgot there. Strogan trying to run away. Strogan running into Golly there, but he does a good job of dodging the Q. He has the shield, but there's the lock-on from the missiles. But the knock-up, that is not going to be enough. Karma was able to pick it up. It's a 4-cap right now, and Noob V3 is back. He manages to pick up one with a shockwave, now trying to kite away backwards again. He does not have the ball. He needs to pick up the shield. He gets the shield on himself. The pillar comes in. There's the twisted advance. Orianna is finally going to fall, but it's a 4-cap. Annie has to go and get the refinery just to bring it down to a 3-cap. And dual power did respawn. He did not even need to revive. He just respawned a good Valkyrie, so that brought him back under the turret. But there's so much damage out of Nerdok right now. Dual power is going to go down. A good pillar interrupts Strogan from coming in, but there's the knockup onto SMC and a ton of damage out of Pantheon. With that high trigger strike, Nerdok is probably going down. One more auto attack. Janna picks it up. High trigger strike, the knockup. The minions, they need to clear out the minions. They had the garrison. They're going to be able to pick it up. Annie in the top lane. Yeah, Annie and Unicorns 2v1 against Karma. Corki used his revive this time to come top, but he's 1v3 right now, and he cannot fight 1v3. He has to Valkyrie over the wall, because if he dies, then he is not going to be able to do anything. He just wants to be able to hope that his team manages to make something happen at the bottom. Windmill was neutralized there. You're not going to go down. Good knockback from Jarvan to knock SMC off the point. They just want to channel it. They can't allow the 3 cap to stay for too long. SMC is very, very tanky, but all alone he can't do anything. It's a double kill for Pantheon. They should be able to get the neutral and the cap off. It's going to be another 3 cap. Alright, so dual power trying to dodge out. He gets ulted there, gets exhausted, gets shielded again, but goes down almost immediately. But Generic getting focused down. There's the damage in from new V3. One more auto attack or the Q, not quite enough. It's a double kill for Urgot. And I think that was the point of no return. I think at this point, Sofanda's bare Tibbers.
Strogan may be able to stall this out long enough for his teammates to come back. Right. It's possible. It's going to be hard though.
We'll see. They don't have the capture onto the drill yet. But if they get the capture onto the drill, he gets the kill onto Unicorns. And he barely could not get that in time. But Corki's coming up. Here's dual power. Gets a lot of damage from that Q, more damage from his rockets. Actually, Orianna with that kill. SMC is very, very tanky, just trying to delay absolutely everyone. They need to pick up 2 towers, though, in the next 9 seconds. Less than 9 seconds, which is a 4 cap right now. That was just game. The CC chain onto Corki there was immaculate, and there was just nothing that dual power could do. He never picked up that QSS against the Urgot.
One thing I noticed was that at the end, when you saw the 3 people from Sofanda pushing on Amputease's midpoint, Metal Thunder and Dual Power coming up to defend the point, but Dual Power headed back into the base for whatever reason. I assume he wanted to buy an item, and that time, the time that he lost allowed Sofanda to just set up position, and they were just able to just get where they needed to be to take that point, and I feel like that moved me across in the game.
So the one thing that's just a little bit surprising to me is that Noob V3 didn't go for Merlenomicon, unless that item isn't. I think that item exists in Dominion.
The thing about Merlenomicon is that it does, the healing debuff does not activate unless the target is below 40%
Oh, that's
health.
right. I forgot about the 40% health. Right. So he wanted to apply always.
That is why Noob V3 opted to go with the Executioner's Call.
See, I remember remembering that, and then I forgot about it. Yeah.
He needed to stop Nerdok's sustain when Trundle's still at 100% health, because otherwise he's not going to get him down to 40% range to begin with. And that is why, just one reason why you don't buy Morellos against sustain teams, because it doesn't activate when you need it to.
Unsurprisingly, Orianna in the lead there. This is it's very rare. I feel that 2 champions on the losing team have more damage dealt than every single champion on the winning team.
However, down in bot lane, Noob was basically just beating on a pure tank sustained Trundle and just constantly beating on him, so I kind of see how that would happen.
Alright, and looking at Graveyard Hero, time spent dead. It's actually Pantheon narrowly, so he had the 2nd most damage in the game and the most time spent dead in the game. Go figure. If you want to carry your team, you should die a lot. That's what I'm learning from this game.
Well, Pantheon was a fairly squishy frontline melee. He was basically his team's only frontline, so obviously he's going to be in the way of harm. The fact that he did manage to get so many kills and do so much damage is just a sign that he was doing a really good job as Pantheon.
Alright, so that is going to be game, and it is Sofanda's bare Tibbers advancing to the semifinals. That was the quarterfinals that we just saw. This is DominateDominion number 75. We're going to throw over to a hold screen, play some music, and put up a quick ad. Please turn off your ad block, guys. Support Dominate Gaming. We appreciate it a lot, and we'll be right back.